Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope y'all had a great weekend. So hopefully, you guys are still out there riding as well. Back out in Whistler now, hanging out here on the deck. That's Whistler Mountain there behind me. And just here to answer any snowboard questions you guys have. Anything related to snowboard gear, snowboarding, traveling, anything like that in general. Go ahead, start dropping those questions. I'll try to answer as many as I can for you guys. Going to be hanging out for about an hour here today. Also, if you want to let me know where in the world you guys are joining us from, it's always awesome to hear where you guys are at. And Kevin's actually going to be joining the live stream today, probably in about 30 minutes or so. He'll be rolling up. So if you got any questions for Kevin, he's going to be coming on here pretty soon. Awesome, guys. Looks like a few of you were hanging out before the live chat started. We got a million Popoff, Osvaldo, Ethan McKinney, Bad Riders, Adam. What's up, guys? Oh, yep, Osvaldo calling out Breckenridge. They are extending the season this year, so yeah, Breck I heard is going to be open until pretty close to the end of May, like the third week of May or something like that. That's pretty rad. Whistler is going to be open until May 27th. So as you guys can see, still a lot of snow on the slopes out there. And I was out riding today. It's like full on spring. It was a great sunny day out there. Really warm, nice slushy park laps on Blackcomb. And it looks like we might actually have some rain rolling in the next few days. So this might be the last sunny day for a little while. Stoked to get out for sure. Threw some backflips today, so that was fun. Tried some rodeos as well, getting comfortable in the park again. Rob Gams hopping on just to say hey. What's up, Rob? Nerman Hadzik. Sick, guys. Thanks for hopping on the chat and hanging out. All right, we got Anonymous K. Engen on the chat. What's up, Engen? David B. Yo. All right, let's see here. L Stacker on the chat saying smash like. Yeah, guys, if you want to hit that like button, that helps out for sure. Appreciate it. We got Ty Winter Sports, Napa on the chat here today as well. What up, guys? Misha Popov. What stance do you ride, TJ? I ride around a 21 and a half inch width and 15 -15. Most of the time, if I'm on a more directional board or like an all mountain board, sometimes I'll kick in that back binding angle to about -12. And that's about it. That's what I run. All right, Osvaldo saying, what are the pros and cons on the LibTech Orca? I'm considering it for next season. I do all mountain, not so much park, ride here in Colorado. Currently ride the Deep Thinker. Yeah, I think if you're mainly doing all mountain, the Orca's a great board. Honestly, it's got everything that you want for if you're not riding much park or really. I wouldn't ride that board in the park too much at all. Like maybe just passing through. That'd probably be the most I would want to do on it or like set out to do. But for all mountain, it's great. It has plenty of stability. It's got that hybrid camber profile. It floats really well in powder. It's fun in the trees. It's got the width so you can really lay carves over. Yeah, good amount of stability, cruising around at higher speeds, and yeah, magnet traction. For all mountain, and no park, I think it's a pretty solid board. There's not much compromise going on there. Shout out Jonah Lambert. What's up, dude? Sam Smith. Aaron McGaffey from Washington. David B's over in Toronto. What up, guys? King Kilbasa from Cali. Ray P, what 2020 Capita board are you looking forward to checking out? Probably the Super DOA is probably the one I'm most looking forward to checking out, just because the DOA is such a well-known board. It's such a sick board. Consistently a very fun snowboard, and it's basically that snowboard, but with all the bells and whistles, the high-end construction, all the high-end features. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that one compares to the regular DOA and rip that guy around. And I think that I should be able to round out most of the Capita board reviews that I'm missing this spring as well. So like the Indoor Survival, the Spring Break Twin, and maybe a couple others should be coming up this spring as well. So I'm stoked to get those out for you guys. Charles Van Vliet, Chuck from New South Wales, Australia. What's up, Chuck? Commander AMG over in West Virginia. Nice. Is Snowshoe still open? How's I know pretty much. I think all North Carolina's closed now. I know Cataloochee was open recently, but they may have shut down, and the rest is all shut down. So it's winding down on the east, I think. Tyler Babin saying they're getting the same weather down in Tahoe. Yeah, man, it's I guess it's that time of year, you know. I wish it'd be snow, but it looks like it's probably gonna be rain. Maybe like way up high, maybe it'll be snowy. But yeah, we can only hope. So hopefully it's a minimal rain and we can get back to that spring riding. Be nice, shred life. Yeah, dude. Thanks, man. Joe Stazone. Hey TJ, I rode the Yes Basic this year, really enjoyed it. Been looking into boards for next year, and I'm stuck between the Solomon Huck Knife or the GNU Headspace. Which do you like more? Both great boards. I think the Huck Knife is going to be pretty comparable to the Basic. It's a little bit of a higher end board. It might be slightly more aggressive, but overall I think it's going to be a very similar feel to the Basic. It also won't have that underbite or the mid-bite that's on the Basic, so you'll be missing out on that. They have the EQ radius side cut, so it's not quite as aggressive of contact points on the Huck Knife. Whereas on the Headspace, you'll get a couple. There's a few things that are pretty significantly different. So first off, it's the C3 camber dominant profile, whereas the Huck Knife is like cam rock. You're going to get magna traction on the Headspace, so even more grip and more kind of bite on that firm snow than on the Basic with that magna traction, and it's an asymmetrical snowboard, so it'll feel a little bit different for carving as well. So I feel like, yeah, do you want to switch it up and go for something that's a bit more aggressive, something that'll be a bit more kind of better outside of the park as well with the Headspace, or something a little bit higher end but pretty similar with the Huck Knife? I think that's kind of the choice that you're looking at, man. Excuse me, guys. Snake Chow Pie saying his brother or their brother's going snowboarding today. That's what's up. Yeah, there's still snowboarding to be had. Drew Weisner, any thoughts on the Signal Disruptor? I haven't ridden any Signal boards yet. The Disruptor would be high on the list for sure. I've seen Kyle Mack just throwing down on that thing. It'd be really fun to check that guy out, but no Signal boards as of yet. Justin Vasey, what's up, dude? Good to see you on the chat. Thanks for hopping on, man. Hope you and the twins had a good time out in LA last night. Napa, appreciate it, man. Yeah, doing well. Riding out. Spring is here. Those sunny, slushy park laps are in the forecast, so super stoked on that. And I hope you're doing well too, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll get some laps in sometime soon. Francis Turnigan from SoCal checking in, or Turingen. All right, and Sean Paul NZ with the super chat. Thanks, Paul, or thanks, Sean. Hey TJ, is the GNU Headspace a good board for all mountain ripping? No park or powder, just carving, side hits, and butters. Oz, New Zealand conditions. Yeah, I think yeah, for no powder, no park, just carving, side hits, and butters. I think it'd be a fun one. You know, the Headspace is a very kind of like freestyle friendly board. So, you know, if you're going to be doing side hits and trying to hit natural features and kind of get some freestyle stuff going, I think it's definitely a good option. That C3 profile has that rocker between the feet, which I consistently find creates a nice flex zone. I was just on the LibTech box knife that's also C3. It's a little bit softer than the Headspace, but yeah, that rocker between the feet creates a nice little flex zone for presses and butters and things. So yeah, and with the mag, I think it'd be a pretty good option, man. Um, yeah, I'd recommend that one, dude. I think that's a good one. There might be some other options as well you could take a look at, but as far as having the magnet traction, the ASIM, and a good flex, I think yeah, the Headspace would be right up your alley. All right, Kevin Roger saying, how do you transition from camber to rocker boards? Any tips? Camber comes natural, but it takes me half a day to get used to the space case after riding a camber dominant board. Um, yeah, I think just kind of, you know, anticipating that it's going to be a bit of a different feeling, you know, knowing that you're going to have to get to the end of that rocker profile before you start to load up the tension in the board. And yeah, man, I don't know if there's really any tips other than just kind of getting used to it, you know, taking a few laps, feeling it out, flexing the board, finding, you know, where that stability starts to come in, like how far you got to lean before you start to feel that resistance and pressure build up. Little things like that, just trying to feel it out as quickly as you can. But yeah, that's sick that you're on the space case though. What camber board were you on before? Vesti from France, saying that they're gonna go ride Niseko because of you and your crew. Thanks a lot. Definitely, yeah. Niseko was an insane trip. Definitely, it's like the best snow in the world. It was so good. It snowed every day. Yeah, definitely go check out the videos from Japan if you haven't already, and see what's up in Niseko. Thanks, Vesti. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos, and I'm sure you're gonna have a great time. Try to hit it in January if you can. I think January is the best month. Bruno Gallo from Australia. What's up, dude? We got about 100 people on the chat right now. What's up, guys? Thanks for hopping on and hanging out. Try to answer as many questions as I can for you. And Kevin is going to be hopping on here in a little bit, so stay tuned, and Kevin will be on here as well. Kevin Ma asking when the box knife review is coming out. It's going to be coming out in the next few days. Yeah, I've got the Evil Twin review and another video lined up before that one. So it'll be just a few days and that one will be out. Inessa, what camera or GoPro do you use when you're riding? The GoPro Hero 7. You know, I made a video kind of talking about the downsides of that camera, but honestly, it's still the best camera out there for what we're doing. Snowboarding, you know, that stabilization helps out a lot, and just the compact size, being able to use it with the gimbal, all the different features with the slow-mo, and like, you know, the super wide angle super view or linear, and everything just comes together to make a really nice camera for filming the type of stuff that we film. So it does have a few issues, which have pretty much subsided in the warm weather for the most part. Definitely the best camera out, in my opinion. Misha Popov saying she's thinking of getting in a lot of park next season, getting better and starting to ride switch off 180s. Nice. Have fun. Yeah, the progression curve, once you get into the park, it opens up like a whole new side of progression. So enjoy. It's really fun building up those tricks. All right, so we got George Morales. How would you compare the ride between the Union Atlas and the Union Stratas for all mountain freestyle riding? I think that they both work pretty well, um, but the Atlas is a little bit more aggressive. The Stratas are a bit more. The Stratas are have a very similar feel to the Force. I really like the footbeds, and they've got some nice upgraded features versus the Force. But the Atlas is noticeably more responsive and a little bit more stable as well. So I think the Atlas would probably. I'd probably go Atlas if I was looking at like all mountain freestyle. Oh, Engen saying the Orca works in the park too. Yeah, man. I mean, technically, you could ride, any board in the park, right? But I wouldn't go out of my way to ride the Orca in the park. Connor, what's up, dude? Thanks for hopping on the chat, man. Good to see you. Tu Yang, when riding switch, I feel like I'm gonna catch an edge when I go on my toe edge. Any tips? Um, I think maybe just slow it down, just get more comfortable, spend more time riding switch, and just really, focus on just getting those smooth carves, transitioning from heel to toe, and don't try to rush into it. Take your time getting comfortable, and yeah, ride with like a more moderate amount of speed. Don't go super fast with it. And Connor is from Ottawa, Canada. Nice, dude. Thanks for hopping on. L Stacker from Boise. Let's see. Eric Crowley, when's the best time to go to Whistler when it's not super busy? Big fan from Oklahoma. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I think really you just want to avoid any like major holidays. Like March is pretty consistently busy, just with spring break. All the spring breaks are staggered, and everyone's coming up to the mountains. Obviously the holidays like MLK weekend, Christmas, all those big holidays where people get those long weekends is going to be really busy. And other than that, if you can make a trip during the week, that's going to be the least busy times. Yeah, Christmas is one of the busiest weeks. MLK is one of the busiest weekends as well. Ray P from Las Vegas. Shout out Ray. Alex Carter just confirming that all of NC is closed. I suspected that was the case. I know Catalucci stayed open a little bit longer than the other resorts. I saw our friend Garrett went out there, and it looked pretty fun, honestly. But yeah, I suspected they were probably going to be closing down pretty soon too. Oh, and Kevin, Snowboard Pro Camp, hopped on the chat here. What's up, Kev? Looking forward to chatting with you here soon. Kevin in the house. Hey, y'all. Nice, dude. Good use. Good use of the word, y'all. We got Jonathan Buckhouse on the chat as well. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you, man. Looks like you've been having some fun out in Colorado. Been checking out some of the recent videos, man. Enjoy. I saw that video was you and Kevin, and I forget your friend's name, but he did like a massive crippler in the half pipe. That was really cool, man. That looked like a fun day. Yeah, shout out to Jonathan Buckhouse. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. He's putting out a bunch of videos out in Colorado. Uh, do. Would rocker between the feet make it harder to board slide? Honestly, I don't think so at all. Like even with the C3 profile, which is camber dominant, but it has the rocker between the feet, I think it actually makes it a little bit easier or it makes it feel like really slick, in my opinion. A little bit more kind of a loose, slick feel, which is comfortable when you're sliding sideways on rails. So Yeah, I really don't think it does, man. Because when you're on the rail, you're flexing out the rocker anyway, and it's going to be shaped like cambers. So still got about 100 people on the chat. What's up, guys? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the questions, guys. Mitchell Carson with a question here about hitting some box features. When a box is raised up, do I approach it from the side in order to board slide it? Um, I think really it's up to you, man. I find that on boxes, when you approach from the side, it is much easier to kind of drift sideways off the feature. So you really want to focus on getting that trajectory right if you're going to come from the side so that you're not sliding too far off the feature and you slide off early. And then if it's raised up, obviously, there's a chance you could potentially catch the front if you're trying to come straight on. So if you do want to go straight on, it's going to be easier to slide all the way to the end. But you want to really ollie and make sure you get over that front part of the feature. Um, I usually hit them from the side though. So another thing you can do once you get comfortable is try to almost like catch, because usually boxes have like metal rails on either side. You can try to catch it to stop any momentum you have going sideways, and then that'll help to straighten you out as well. Justin saying the twins and him had a lot of fun and gonna try to make it out to Japan next year. Sick, Justin, dude. Yeah, I hope you're able to make it out. I think Niseko in January is the plan, and I'm stoked. Yeah, hopefully Japan every year from here on out. It's an insane place. Uh, Ben, hey TJ, how long will you be hanging out on that deck in Rainbow? I'll bring you a beer or another beverage of your choice, and you can pet my puppy. I'm assuming you live in Rainbow? I guess if you live in Whistler, it's pretty obvious that I'm in the Rainbow neighborhood right now. But I don't think you could figure out the house that I'm in, and I'm not going to give out my address on the live chat. But yeah, maybe we can link up on Hill one day, man. Thanks for thanks for hopping on. And Jen saying the box knife doesn't need a review. It's just that good. It is super fun, man. I really enjoyed that snowboard. Really similar to the Headspace. We've been talking about that board a little bit on the chat here, and yeah, fun, really fun all around park board. Kevin's okay. Kevin's saying he's not gonna make the chat, guys. I'm sorry. It's all good, Kev. Rest up those legs. We got some rainy days ahead, so we got some time to rest the legs. I'll we'll link up for some food or something later today. All right, Shoto Elite, GNU Carbon Credit or the Yes Basic? Quite different snowboards, and personally, I would go for the basic. I think if I had to choose one, unless you really want that magnet traction. But the carbon credit has a good bit of rocker going on. Finn Vaccaro saying, I want to ride steeper, powdery mountains next season. Where should I go? Um, I mean, getting the powder is definitely obviously very weather dependent. It's hard to hit a trip right at the right time where you're going to get those conditions that you want. But Revelstoke has got some really fun steep terrain if you can make it up to Canada. Whistler is a great place as well. There's lots of steep alpine stuff here. Jackson Hole is a great place if you're looking for steeper, aggressive terrain, and all those places get good snow too. So if you can time it out right on a trip, then I think those would all be good options for you. Robert James, who is your favorite rider stylistically wise, TJ? Interesting question, man. Yeah, it's a tough call. I think there's definitely a lot of really stylish riders out there. Um, I mean, Ulrich, I think his last name's like Batter Terscher or something. He hangs out with the RK1 guys. I've always really liked his style. Haldor obviously has been a huge influence for me over the years. Stale, um, Torstein has like super gangster style and he's so consistent. But yeah, a lot of the like rail guys too, like Jesse Paul kills it. He's got really good style. There's a lot of riders for sure. You know, staying tuned on Instagram and just getting that inspiration daily, trying to improve my style as well, always. Johnny Snipes. Yo, dude, was awesome to chat with you and Kevin a couple of days at Keystone. Catch you guys at the park on that beautiful spring weather. Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out, Johnny. Glad we could meet up at Keystone, man. Good to meet you. Thanks for hopping on the chat, dude. Alan saying next year's Orca top sheet is going to show an eye and lots of black speckling. Yeah, I saw the top sheet on the Orca for next year, and honestly, I think I like this year's better, if I'm being perfectly honest. But as long as it's still the same great snowboard, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of Orcas out there. Nathan saying best all mountain jib board and bindings to go with it. Well, I think if you're looking for something that's really jib specific, it's not going to be super all mountain friendly because, for jibbing, you want more flex. You want something that's, a little bit easier to handle and maneuver. Whereas all mountain, I think, stability is a little bit nicer to have. A little bit of a stiffer flexing board, and maybe, even like a more aggressive camber profile. But a good compromise, I think, could be something like maybe the Battalion Fun Kink. So it's got the 99% twin shape, so it's got a slightly directional shape, full camber snowboard, but they combine that with a fairly soft flex and the 3BT, so it's still like real buttery. That's the first one that comes to mind. I think that'd be a good one to check out. Osvaldo saying, we all agree you guys should do a ski day. Maybe, man. I haven't skied in a couple of years, and I only did one ski day just for fun, and I did enjoy it. Yeah, maybe that'll happen. I don't know. I'll talk to Kevin and see what's up, see his thoughts. King Kilbasa, did you pick up some new boots in Colorado? I did not. No, I'm still running the Adidas, but looking at getting some new boots soon. So I want to try on some Vans. I want to try on some Nitros. I want to try on the TM2s again. I might get on some TM3s from 32. I'm not exactly set on any particular pair yet. So I'll keep you guys posted. Dustin McKee, what's up, TJ? How was the park today? It was good, man. Yeah, it was a really fun day. Beautiful sunny day. I was hitting like the kind of larger jump at the top of the park on Blackcomb there. I was like going through the waterfall rail. I was trying some. There's like a really fun jump at the bottom of the park right now. That's almost like it's kind of like a tabletop, and the landing is really slushy. It's just in the sun all day. So yeah, doing some flips on that. It was a really fun day. Ngen, how does it feel losing half your crew? Oh man, it's all good. It's just it would have been nice if Kevin came on here to answer some questions for you guys, but no big deal. Kevin will be around all the time. He'll be see him in videos. Be on a live chat sometime soon. I was thinking about doing if I would have done the live chat on the mountain, I probably would have had Kevin and Chris in it, but I didn't have the gear for the chat, and I got to figure out my data situation or like a good spot for Wi-Fi in the village. So maybe next week we'll do it in the village and get the whole crew on here. Anonymous K from Melbourne, Straya. You gonna hit up Hotham or Falls Creek or even Buller? Maybe. We haven't planned that far out ahead yet. I think the next trip that's kind of like for sure is gonna be Mount Hood. So yeah, we'll have to just keep you posted and see what's coming up after that. Travster22, have you guys been or plan to go to Big Bear Mountain in California sometime? Never been. Definitely would like to go sometime. It's not going to happen this season, but I think, yeah, going down to Bear is a tough call. I think it's definitely, it's like I want to go there to ride the park. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe like early season or late season next year. Or if we're in the area, or riding some other Cali resorts or somewhere nearby, maybe we'll pop down to Bear for a few days. Okay, I see you guys want me to go through these comments faster. Yeah, I'm trying to read them all, man. Get all the questions for you guys. What I will do is grab these super chats real quick, though. I appreciate the support with the super chats, guys. So, Adam Ling with the 160 Capita DOA for 200-pound 5'5" guy. Yeah, I think if you fall within the weight range, then that's probably the way to go. I'm not that familiar with the specs on the DOA. I don't know the weight ranges, but 5'5", so I'm about 5'9". 160 is gonna feel pretty long, man. I think if you could, get down to a size lower than that, if that might be a good way to go. It might feel a little bit softer, but yeah, honestly, dude, I'd probably try to size down one size at least on that guy, just because 160 is gonna feel really long. Like if you're trying to ride any park, a 160 is gonna feel real bulky. So you could look at maybe something a little stiffer like the Outsiders and sizing down and get a more similar feel to kind of what the DOA would be, or even like something like the Ride Helix is a good bit stiffer than the DOA, so you could size down on that and get kind of a similar feel. All right, and Charles, looking to upgrade to the Atlas bindings from Burton Customs. Burton Ruler 8.5 boots, medium range from size 7 to 10. Will I have any problems being at the lower end of the size range, small to small? So, with 8.5 boots, I don't know, man. I think you should go medium. I think small. I don't know if you can get into a shop and try to actually put the boots in the binding, that'd be the best thing to do, just to know for sure. Like if you could fit into the small, like fully maxed out, that'd be awesome. But you might even have like width issues, like the heel of your boot might be rubbing in the heel cup because the small might be too narrow. I'm just speculating. I'm not sure. You'd have to put the boot in to find out. But with 8.5, a medium would probably be the more proper way to go. All right, and Jay saying older rider, no park or switch, looking for an all mountain board, some dense trees, 1 to 2 West Coast trips a year, rest on Midwest icy hills, looking at the Orca. Yeah, the Orca would be a good option. The magnet traction will help on the ice. It's directional. It'll float and pow. It'll be fun out west. It'll be a little more swivelly in the trees. I think definitely something that's a bit directional. So you could also look at maybe like the e-jackknife from LibTech. That could be a good option for you. Let's see, what else? All mountain, dense trees, going out west, riding on Midwest ice. I definitely would go for something with magnet traction. You could maybe even look at something like the Jones Explorer or the Jones Flagship. I think that would be a really fun one too, but I'd definitely be looking at magnet traction like Jones, GNU, LibTech, or Rossignol boards. The Orca's definitely a good option, man. It's but check out the rest of the line as well. All right, Chupa Melas. Hey TJ from Mexico. Is the K2 After Black any good for progressing to big jumps? I think that would be a good board, man. Yeah, that one comes in at a good price point, and it's got a surprising amount of stability. I found that one was a bit stiffer than I thought it was going to be. It's got that camrock profile, so it's a really fun board for just like all-around park. You can even like get some good presses going with it, hit rail features pretty comfortably, and I think it would have some decent stability for kind of stepping up to those more medium, large jumps. It's definitely not like a jump specific board. It's not like, it's not going to be on the same level as something like, the Ride Helix per se. Um, but it would be a good all arounder. Yeah, I think it'd be a good progression board. Oh, NGen following up. Thanks, NGen. um, I meant losing SLB and Shred. By the way, I don't see any new boots yet. Oh man. Oh, and hashtag no ski day. Oh, we got some some drama stirring up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that ski day. I don't know. But yeah, no. With Rav and Yannick heading back home, it's definitely it's definitely sad to see him go. We had a lot of fun with those guys. It was great having them around, and I was basically, they were staying at my place, and so it was awesome having them around, hanging out, and wishing them the best back home. And we'll see them again soon, though. They're not gone. They're just taking a break. But yeah, best wishes to those guys. Safe travels for them. Adam Ling with the super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Adam. And New Board with the super chat. $5 for 2 beers for you and Kevin. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'll put that to some good use. Awesome, guys. Thanks for all the super chats. I appreciate it. All right. Awesome, guys. Still got 113 people on the chat right now. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you guys want to give the video a thumbs up, give it a quick like. I appreciate it. Helps me out. All right. JC, what's the date for Mount Hood? It's not for sure locked in yet, but it's probably going to be kind of like towards the end of June. We're looking at like hoping, yeah, like session 2 probably. So we'll update you guys once that comes closer a little bit. Still a few months out. Hey! One of my neighbors over here. That might be Ben. Is that Ben? I don't know. It might be the dude from earlier. All right, so we got Jacob saying, "What do you think about the LibTech TRS for park and jumps?" Yeah, I think the TRS is like a good all-arounder. Definitely a solid all-mountain board that you can take through the park. I would say, it's another one that I think it's a little better for kind of all mountain, not necessarily freestyle specific. It does have the more aggressive magnet traction, so that's not my favorite thing for jibs. But for jumping, I think it'd be a great one. Yeah, I think it's got a good amount of stability, and it's got that rocker dominant profile. So yeah, that could be a fun one. 11 KTM taking off. Later, man. Thanks for hopping on while you were here. Cyborg Santa. What are your thoughts on the Burton Custom? I think it's a great snowboard. Yeah, it's obviously one of the most popular boards in the world. I feel like, and for good reason. It's just really versatile. You know, you can set the stance back and have a good time in powder on that guy. It's very park friendly. It's just a really solid all around all mountain snowboard, and yeah, I don't think that I have anything bad to say about it, honestly. I'm hoping to do an updated review on that guy this spring as well, so hopefully that'll be coming out in not too long. Napa, have a good day, man. Good to see you. Enjoy your week. Johnny Snipes, his ski day is when he split boards up. Hashtag no ski day. That's true. Yeah, there is still some split boarding that I'd like to do here in Whistler. There's a few runs that I think would be fun. I think top of the list is DOA. That's one that I'd really like to do. There's also, I forget what it's called, like the Flute Bowl. I think it's Flute Bowl or Flute Shoots or something like that. That one, Kevin and Chris have told me about. That sounds like a lot of fun. And then there's some other stuff out on the Blackcomb Glacier. So yeah, maybe some spring touring. We'll see how the conditions are looking this week after the rain comes through. All right. And Justin Vasey, Chile or New Zealand? Tough call with the super chat. It is a tough call, man. I mean, I guess doing both would be ideal, right? But I've never been to Chile, so I got to go New Zealand. And I don't know. We have been talking about maybe going to South America this summer, and so I've done a little bit of research on Chile and Argentina and stuff. But if I had to choose one or the other, I think I'm still leaning New Zealand. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I guess you got to go to find out, though, right? Mike Mike O. Climber MTB. Did you buy a downhill mountain bike yet? Worcester Bike Park has the best trails. Not yet, man, but I am hoping to get on some bike trails up in Whistler. Um, I don't want to get like too sendy on the bikes. Honestly, I've got a lot of respect for people that are getting gnarly on those mountain bikes. But just doing like the green flow trails and maybe hitting some like small jumps, which is usually scattered in the green trails, is plenty enough for me. You can really get some speed going, and yeah, the like gnarlier downhill stuff is just so sketchy. The summer that I did have a mountain bike, I think I was a little overly ambitious, and I went over the bars several times and learned real quick not to try to progress too quickly on a mountain bike. Johnny Snipe saying so much workout on your arms. Yeah, that's so true, man. That's another thing that I learned real quick on the mountain bikes. You look at the bike and you see that like huge travel suspension, and you're like, oh, I bet I can just ride over anything, and it's just like riding on a cloud. But what you don't think about is the resistance that it takes to actually compress that, and every time it compresses, you got to resist that in your arms. So yeah, it's a lot of energy, but it is super fun though. Adam Stam just finished the SPC vid and now a live stream. I appreciate you hopping on, man. Yeah, glad you checked out yeah, Kevin's latest video with Jill. I saw that one this morning. It looked like they had a good time out there. And yeah, if you guys have any questions for Kevin, he's going to have a live chat on Friday, so make sure to go over to Snowboard Pro Camp and subscribe over there if you're not already. And he'll be live on Friday. Go Flow, greetings from Germany. You guys rock. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on all the way from Germany. I know it's probably pretty late over there right now for you guys, isn't it? Thanks for staying up and for the support. I appreciate it. Justin goes ham, bruh. thoughts on the new Capita Super DOA? Brought it up briefly earlier in the live stream here, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying it out. That's one that I would love to get on as soon as I can for you guys. And you know, the DOA is such a fun snowboard, consistently just super fun. And so having like basically the same board, just built with all the highest end materials and all the technology the Capita has to offer, sounds pretty awesome. So, you know, I'm curious to see how different it is from the DOA. Like, is it just lighter but similar performance, or is it a little more aggressive? I don't know. We'll have to see, but definitely stoked to get on that one. Good old boys. Any chance we're gonna see a butter vid with Napton from the CO trip? There's gonna be another video coming out from that trip that has Napton in it, and I'm sure there's some shots of some butters and some carving. I know there's a few good carving shots, so stay tuned for that. But there's not gonna be a specific carving or butter video. But go check out Napton's channel. He's doing butters every day. 110 people in here with 62 likes. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. If we get it over 100, that'd be sick. But I'm happy with 62. I appreciate the support, guys. 110 people hanging out right now. That's what's up. Thank you guys for hanging out, for all the great questions. JC, are we off TBT now? Triple base technology. Comparing Yes Standard to Lobster Sender for twinish park focused all arounder. Thank you for the epic vids. No, I rode the Evil Twin recently. Definitely still a fan of the triple base technology. I didn't own a TBT board personally this year, but I think next year I am gonna pick up a Battalion or a Lobster. Looking at the Magic Carpet. There's a few boards I'm looking at, but I think that, yeah, the triple base technology is really fun, and it's something that I'd like. But I haven't ridden the Yes Standard, so I can't compare it to the Sender. But that is a board that that'll get reviewed this spring. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have access to that one fairly soon. So then maybe I can talk more about a comparison there. But from what I know, I think the Sender is probably what I would go for between the two, JC. Cameron, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Oh, thanks for all the questions, guys. Engine saying, TJ, go for the Magic Carpet or the Omni. Yeah, I feel like those are pretty different though, right? Like the Omni is supposed to be a good bit stiffer than the Magic Carpet. I found the Magic Carpet to be surprisingly flexy last time I rode it, but yeah, I really want to ride it in POW, so I just want to have it available so when it does dump, it's just like in the garage or whatever, and I can just go ride some POW and see. You know, I think triple base technology does help in powder, but you know, the Magic Carpet in particular has that POW 3BT, and it's a true twin and softer flexing, so I think that'd be really fun to just kind of have around. And I'd probably ride it in the park a bunch as well. Adam saying, TJ, you got to get back here. I need some park tips. Yeah, man, stoked to get back down to the Southern Hemisphere. For sure going down there, but yeah, the dates and the destinations are TBD at the moment, Adam. But you know, we'll keep you posted. I hope we get some laps in this season as well, man. Ride Beside, thank you, man. TJ, you guys killed it this winter with the content. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the videos and for following along. It's been another just absolutely insane season, and going into a really fun part of the year. You know, spring riding up here in Whistler, going to Mount Hood, doing all the summer destinations, and then kind of loops back over. Griffin Chronog. Any recommendations for boots geared towards park riding? Um, I think that the Adidas Tactical ADVs that I've ridden this year are a great option for park riding. The 32 lashed, the Vans high standard that Kevin has, he seems to really enjoy those. So I think those are all three good options. And I'll be getting some new boots soon as well. The TM3s, if you want to go like high end, those are great boots from 32, but they're a bit pricey. But yeah, those are all good options. Awesome, guys. Zach saying, are a mid-flex boot best for park riding? I think a mid-flex is good for, I mean, it depends. Park riding is a pretty wide range of riding. You could be hitting like the XL line, like massive jumps, where you probably want something a little bit stiffer, a little more responsive, but really something more supportive. Like you're going to have the potential for harder, like higher impact landings, where I think that support is very useful. Whereas a softer boot or a mid flexing boot is kind of a good compromise for both. I think that's my personal preference. And then a softer boot's gonna be more comfortable, and it'll be much easier to tweak. And like if you're trying to do jibs, or anything that really involves like tweaking the snowboard, then a softer boot is gonna help out a bunch as well. Reggie, TJ, any plans for team hoodies next season? I definitely plan on switching up the merch next season, so stay tuned. I'm sure there's going to be some. I've got some ideas for some designs that I'm pretty stoked on. So, um, yeah, I think there'll be kind of a change up for like the spring, summer as well, there's going to be some new stuff that I've got in the works, and then yeah, beanies and hoodies kind of in the fall next year, and kind of leading into the season, I think, and maybe some other stuff too. But right now, I'm looking at more like summery, warm weather stuff, like some new styles of T-shirts and T-shirt designs and things like that. Some hats. Oh, I've got one of my hats right now. If you guys haven't checked this one out, super stoked on this 5 panel. It's on the site. There's a link in the description. We got stickers available as well if you guys want to, rep Board Archive. There's a bunch of shirts available, and there's still a decent bit of stickers available too. So those, it's like $1 or $2 shipping worldwide on the stickers. So I feel like it's a pretty good deal. So if you guys want to pick those up, check out the description. And what about the Board Archive logo sticker bigger to 1 inch? Like the small one? Yeah, the first round of stickers I had this really small, and then the kind of like I think it was 1 inch, and I kind of miss having that size around. I kind of chose one or the other because the sticker pack right now you get two of each sticker, so you get the two decals, the Shred Life sticker, the circle logo, and the Tiny Board Archive, and so that just to get it to be able to give it to you guys at, for $10, and still get 8 stickers. That was the best way to go. But I'll look into it, man. I might for the next round, after I sell these stickers for the next round, maybe I'll bring it back. And Parker Zanussi, is expensive always the best way to go? No, not always. I think, you know, a lot of times there's a good reason that things are more expensive. Particularly, I think, like goggles. I think like Oakley is more expensive than some other brands, and I think that comes through in the quality of their product. Same thing for like outerwear. If you're going to be riding a wide range of conditions throughout the season, from like really wet, really cold, and like the Gore-Tex stretch, I think is like my all-time favorite kind of outerwear way to go now. But it depends I think the best answer is depends what your priorities are. If there's something that's really important to you performance wise, then getting like the highest quality could be the best option. But I wouldn't say always. Definitely not always. Samuel Duggan on the ride Twin Pig this season thanks to the review. What's up with the textured base? How does it hold wax? I've never had a board with a base like that. Yeah, so the Twin Pig this year was actually meant to have an extruded base, and they put, there was like in the manufacturing process, they somehow put a sintered base on it, and that texture that you're feeling is structure in the base. So it still absorbs wax just fine, and basically that structure just helps to make it even faster. It's like, it's just like a kind of like a racing thing to do. I guess as far as I'm aware, like the mentality behind it is that there's friction that's created at the front of the board. It creates a thin layer of water, and those channels in the base allow that to as quickly as possible go from the nose to tail, which helps the board go faster. So yeah, man, stoked to see you on the Twin Pig. That's actually a board I'm going to be ripping around here soon throughout the remainder of the season, so I'm stoked to start riding some park on that guy. Melon, what is an extruded base? I've seen you use that term in your reviews. Yeah, so there's two main types of bases. There's extruded and sintered. Extruded is it's less expensive to manufacture. So on boards that come in at a better price, oftentimes you'll find that extruded base, whereas sintered is like harder, faster, more durable, and the difference is in the construction process. So I won't go into all that now, but basically a sintered base holds wax better and it's faster and more durable as long as you keep it waxed up. It's like a higher quality base versus extruded. All right, Mike Wiacek. Riding a Process Flying V, demoed the Custom Flying V and the T-Rice Pro. Like them both. Any suggestions? Mostly riding in Tahoe Groomers and occasionally POW. So you're on the Process, you demoed the Custom and the T-Rice Pro. Yeah, man, I think the Custom is going to be fairly similar. Like, it's going to share a lot of the same tech as the Process, whereas the T-Rice is going to have a lot of differences. I think that the profile, the way LibTech does the rocker camber, is a little bit different to the way Burton does it. So that'll have a different feel in the profile, and you're going to get magnet traction, plus like a whole slew of other just manufacturing differences. So maybe go for the T-Rice and switch it up. Get that. I think the magnet traction is like the biggest reason, but I think you might as well switch it up, man. Get something that's a little bit different. Jack Belly, what are some not too hard tricks on medium-sized jumps? That's a very subjective question, man. If you're comfortable landing switch, I think like a front side 180 is pretty solid. You can see the landing the whole way. Like, you can spot the landing the whole time you're in the air. So that one feels really, really good. Back threes, same. You spot the landing pretty early on in the trick. So that one's a little bit more cozy versus the front three. So I'd maybe start there, like front ones and back threes if you've got those on smaller jumps. It depends what you're comfortable with already on the smaller jumps. Probably the same ones that are comfortable there are going to feel more comfortable on the larger ones. Nevi asking how many boards I've picked up this season. A few, man. I mainly ride like 2 or 3, but I think I've got a powder board. I think I've got like 4 boards that are like my main boards this year, and I've got some older ones that I'm hanging on to. But this season, I think, yeah, the Storm Chaser, the Westmark Camber, the Kazoo, and the Outer Space Living. Pancake, when are you gonna learn flips? Oh man, I was doing some backflips today, man. In the box knife review, you'll see a flip go down. So yeah, now that spring is here, just like immediately boosts the confidence to try sketchier stuff, just having those slushy landings. So would like to learn a larger variety of inverts while we have these snow conditions. Sick, guys. We still got 100 people on the chat. 86 likes. You guys are all legends. Thanks for all the great questions. Can we get the video to over 100 likes. It's possible, but will it happen? I don't know. I hope so. I'd appreciate it. All right, Lucas Sutton. TJ, what's your favorite snow surf style board? There's a lot of good ones out there. I think I've ridden the War Pig the most, so I really like that guy. Um, hmm. I don't know. The Slush Lasher is really fun as well. A lot of the volume shifted boards, like the K, I really like the 87. I think the War Pig is probably the one I've had the most fun on, though. But there's still a few more to try out. The Battalion Surfer being one. The K2 Party Platter is also a really fun one. Sam Prentice, what's your favorite park board that you've owned? Probably, it's a tough, really tough call. There's a lot of great ones, but I gravitate towards the Battalion Evil Twin. I like that guy a lot for park. Like all around park, rails, jibs, butters, jumps. That's a fun one. Sick, guys. We did it. We broke 100 likes. Thank you, guys. That might be the first time that that's happened on a live chat on Board Archive, so I appreciate it, guys. Nice. CNC Cut Cake. What's up, TJ? For the 2020 Super DOA, what do they mean by supercharged? It basically just has all the premium materials and technologies from Capita. So I'm anticipating it to be really lightweight, like really energetic, but still like I imagine it'll be fairly similar to the DOA. But I think it might be a bit more aggressive as well. I don't know. We'll have to see when it comes out. But by supercharged, I think they just mean that it's the same kind of shape and specs as the DOA, but it's supercharged with all the high-end materials and manufacturing processes. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out today and for all the great questions. We'll get through a few more here. My phone might die, so if I randomly cut out, that's what happened. I did get a low battery warning. Finn Prom Boone, DOA or Outer Space Living, really different boards. The OSL is much softer, jibby, flexier. The DOA is much better, like all around, stiffer, more stable. Danilo from Italy. When will the new board come out? I don't know, man. Which new board? Mike. Yeah, so I'm back in Whistler, man. So that view behind me is Whistler Mountain, and yeah, we're back in Whistler. So riding out in the Blackcomb Park today, and good times back in Whistler. Thanks, man. Oh, I meant the new boards from the main brands from Danilo. Usually they're available around like September, October, sometimes a little bit later than that, but they'll probably be available for pre-order shortly, like maybe June, July. You can start pre-ordering them. Vito, why don't you ride your Twin Pig? It's got a core shot right now, so I'm going to fix that and then I'll be back on it. And I think that's going to be like my main board when I'm not doing board reviews through the rest of the spring here. And David, we're using the Stratas on the box knife. I was, yes. And I'm going to be riding the Stratas probably mainly next season as well. I'm going to try to get a pair of Atlases too, I think. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for all the great questions and all the super chats. I think I'm going to cut it here before my phone dies. I appreciate it, guys. Oh, one more super chat from Locree. How do I keep from spraying snow when carving? I think, you know, on a heel side turn in particular, it's keeping the weight even over both feet and like sitting down like you're in a chair almost and really committing to the turn rather than keeping your weight back. That's probably causing that snow to spray out and skid the turn a little bit more. But really just trying to ride the edge of the snowboard and go along that natural path that the board is putting you on and not trying to like force it another way. And maybe also slow down a little bit. That's something I've discovered recently with riding with Ryan Napton, is that it's real easy to go too fast when you're carving, and that can cause all kinds of issues as well. So just slow it down, and I think you'll be all right. But all right, guys. So that is it for today. I appreciate all the questions. I hope you guys have a great week and that you're still getting some snowboarding in wherever you're at. I'll be back here next week, either Monday or Tuesday. I'm looking at maybe switching to Tuesday, but I'll have it scheduled, so keep your eyes peeled and go check out Kevin's live chat on Snowboard Pro Camp on Friday.